Here's Morning Joe chief medical correspondent Dr. Dave Campbell reporting on President Bush's goal to help save so many lives around the world.
When President George W. Bush became president, he actually felt that we have a moral responsibility as a nation with many, many resources to not have people who are going to suffer and die from a treatable and in many respects preventable disease merely because of where they happen to live.
Before Dr. Anthony Fauci was the face of the U.S. COVID pandemic response, he was the architect of the PEPFAR program, the historic humanitarian initiative that supports nearly 65 million people with HIV treatment and testing. PEPFAR seeks to end HIV/AIDS as a public health threat by 2030.
So I put a plan together with a lot of help from the White House. The president said, you know, this is great, but I want something even more transformative. I want you to think really, really big. Let me worry about the money. You just go put the program together. And then on January 28, 2003, the president announced the President's Emergency Plan for AIDS relief.
And the results were significant. AIDS-related deaths have declined 68% since their 2004 peak, and new HIV infections are down 42%. Dr. Fauci's longtime colleague, Ambassador Dr. John Nkengasong, served as the director of the Africa CDC and is a critical leader of PEPFAR.
First of all, HIV is a pandemic. It is because of the research and continuous funding of HIV over the years that our understanding of the virus has improved. We've moved from treating people with a cocktail of drugs to about 1 pill a day. That is remarkable.
How are the resources aimed at those subsets of more vulnerable people?
We have been so successful with the PEPFAR program that the young people that are at risk today, that is the 19 to 25 years, they have not seen the ugly face of HIV. And if the number of new infections do not decrease significantly, then we have a big problems on our hands going forward. Then the gains that we've made, which are fragile, will completely be lost.
PEPFAR's creation relied on an unlikely coalition of anti-abortion faith leaders and health workers who support abortion rights, as well as political leaders from both sides. This is the first reauthorization that's been challenged.
President Biden has hijacked the President's Emergency Plan for AIDS relief. What Biden has done, he has now said that abortion promotion and performance is integrated with all of our HIV/AIDS work overseas.
Representative Chris Smith is accusing the program of indirectly funding abortions. This has angered lawmakers, alarmed advocates, and worried partners overseas.
We must continue the funding in partnership with countries that we are already supporting. The expression of gratitude that we see in these countries and seeing those babies, carrying a baby in my hand, looking at that baby in his or her eyes tells you a story.
In a recent op-ed for the Washington Post, former President George W. Bush warned, to abandon our commitment now would forfeit 2 decades of unimaginable progress and raise further questions about the worth of America's word.
My plea to the Congress was to ask them to look at the history of PEPFAR. It came about with the inspiration and the will of a compassionately conservative Republican president. I mean, if your fundamental core is the right to life and preserving the life of people and children, unborn children, look at the unborn children who will now, if you don't reauthorize PEPFAR, will die by the tens and hundreds of thousands.
And Dr. Dave Campbell joins us now. So, Dave, why wouldn't Congress reauthorize this, and what will happen if they don't?
The what will happen part is, first, it will not end. The U.S. law will allow this program to continue, but it starts to be hobbled. There are a lot of programs that will be weakened as this happens. And it still has to be funded. You have to make appropriations to get the money out there for the programs to go on. But this is the time where the anti-abortion arm of the Congress have decided that they're too close. that the PEPFAR or the Biden administration is propping up abortion and kind of bringing together two different issues. PEPFAR does not support abortion. They do not provide funding for abortion. Every single expert that I've spoken to confirms that. Everybody that's written about it confirms it. The problem is they've muddied the water.
Yeah, I know Chris Smith, like him a lot. I worked with him, but I through you and I have talked about this a lot. I've read a lot about it. PEPFAR has nothing to do with abortion,
no.
Our abortion rights, nothing to do with it at all. So it is very confounding.